Today I'm going to show you guys how you could make $100 turn into $500 with a more safe route than the pump fund method. Now, I know you guys have been watching my pump fund method, but I wanted to share a more safer method that has the less risk, a little bit of longer term reward, but could be very beneficial for you guys to be able to make those $500. Now, the great thing about this method is that, like I said, it's a little bit safer, and we're going to be investing in coins that have performed well, that we expect to do well. Now, identifying what coins these are and how to identify if they're actually going to do better and yield us a good amount of profit is going to be crucial, and that's what I'm going to teach you guys today. So you like how that sounds? Supercharge your crypto need, hit that like button, and let's get right to it. Once again, guys, we are using Photon for this. You can use Dex Screener. I'm going to show you guys how to do both of them. I like Photon, especially when it comes to new pair launches. I also like Photon to trade. I like to get in there quicker than usual because these coins that we're going to be taking a look at have a really high volume. So you want to get really fast in there. I'm going to go over the settings you're going to need to get in there just a little bit quicker. And I'm also going to go over the selling settings as well so you can get out as quickly as you possibly can. Now, how fast you make these $500, that's all going to be determined on you because the more money you put in, the faster you make it. The less money you put in, the longer it's going to take you to make it. So how does this strategy work? Well, the strategy works by looking at the first number 1 all the way to number 25 within the top trending. Now, you could do this from Photon, but you could do it from Dex. I'm going to teach you Dex because a lot of people use Dex, so that's going to be the main one. So the first thing we want to do is change this over to Solana. So what we need to do here is we need to identify if this particular coin that we want to get invested in, is it going to do more money? Is it going to increase in volume? Or is it going to get a dip? Usually these coins, some of them already pumped, some of them are still popping, and some of them are actually downtrending. So this is a brand new coin that came out, which is called 4. We're going to take a look at this one. We're going to take a look at Menki, which is another coin that launched. This is a brand new one, this Pepeng. This is a old one, Mini. Catbook, that's a newer one. We're going to take a look at this one, D-Wake. We're going to take a look at Popcat, and we're going to take a look at Michi, all right? So what we want to do here is we want to identify if this coin in particular has a potential of going back up. As you see, this comes in different sets of forms. So the first thing we want to identify, has this coin already had a pump? If you notice right here, we went up here and we had a downtrend. So this is going to be pump A or pump 1. Okay, so that's going to be pump 1. Then you guys see here, we get another initial pump. All right, so we're going to call this pump B. And this one right here is pump C. All right, so the question is, will this get another long-term pump? As you see right now, the main thing we're going to be able to identify here is that our high target goal on this one right here, I used to like to just go ahead and put a line here. If you guys notice here, that our highest peak, which was this one, which is this line that's running across right here, I would say this is the highest peak, but I usually don't like to play off bots because bots tend to give you a misinformation on how high this actually got, has been this top right here. So this one almost made it. This one almost made it. So the question is, will we get another pump to make sure this goes a little bit higher? And the way we're able to answer that is by taking a look at what our base has been as the following. Are we in a downturn or are we in an upward turn? So this is our first base right here for this particular coin. That's going to be the first one. We stopped there. We bounced back up. This is another base that we went here. And as you see here, the bases are coming down. Okay. So to me personally, that is not a good indicator that this is going to go ahead and bounce back up. But what is a good indicator is that we're seeing this right here. Okay, so we're going to see here, we're going to notice that this is actually bouncing from here upward. So once again, this one right here is higher than this one right here. So what this tells me is that this is going to go up. So we're going to copy this CA, and while we're doing this video, we're going to see and check on it, how it's performing when we get back to it after we're done with this video. So what I'm going to do right here is I am going to set this to a 5-minute timer. We're going to buy 0.5 SOL in here. And you guys will be able to see here how much we're changed in the LP once we get done to this video. As right now, we're on a negative, but I believe based on my analysis that this coin is going to go higher up. So we're going to mark this where we bought right there, and then we'll come back to this one, okay? Then we have this Mankey coin. So this one's actually a really good one. The question is right here, this is an old coin. So the all-time high has been here. This one looks like it's another really solid coin, but we just came in a little bit late because we really wanted to buy down here. Now the question is, after this coin, will this coin keep going up all the way over here? Okay, so that's what we want to see when we're taking a look at these charts. So I'm going to set this to 1 day so we can see exactly what it's been doing throughout the day here. And that should give us a better idea if this coin is going to be going up. So once again, you guys are going to notice one thing. So we got a solid base right here. We got a couple bases right here. We got another base right here. This one didn't drop down. So I do expect this one to go even further up. I do expect this to break this part right here. How long this is going to take? I'm going to say this is going to take at least 4 hours to get there. So you're going to need to leave your money in there for at least a good amount of 4 hours. Then we have this other one called Pang. And this one right here looks like it's doing really, really well, actually. Let's put this on the 5-minute chart. This actually looks like it's sending. Looks a little bit sketchy. So we're going to skip this one for just a little bit because the buys right here are 1 penny buys. So we know this is not a healthy coin. So we're getting out of this one. There's another coin called Mini, which did really, really well. So as you see here, we had a nice large spike here for Mini. We had a nice little consolidation that we had here. Okay. Consolidated right here. We had a nice little leverage, nice little spike, and then leverage again, and nice little upward trend. Now this coin is actually looking like it keeps going up, up, and up. So this is a very healthy coin that I personally feel like, remember, this is not financial advice. You guys can do whatever you want with this coin. But I personally feel like if this is the bottom here, this coin, we had the M right here. So this is going to go further up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this coin and we're going to copy. The only problem with this coin right here, as you see right here with the coin we invested, we're already up a couple percent. So we're no longer sitting on a negative. The only problem with this Michi coin right here that we're going to be doing is that this one's going to take a little bit longer to get our return back, okay? So right here, what we could do is we could either put a little bit more SOL in than the 0.5. We could put 1.5. I don't have that many SOL in this wallet right here, but you would theoretically be able to put a little bit of SOL in here, and you'll notice that after this pattern right here, this is going to go hit a little bit higher, pretty much higher than these M's right here. Right now, I don't have SOL to invest on this one, but that's the idea that you're looking for. So these are healthy coins that, yes, they have a possibility of doing this, of dumping, but it's less likely for that occurring. You just need to be able to identify the patterns. As you notice right here, here's another pattern here. We got a huge spike. This is going to be A, all right? Then we had no downwards turn, which is really good, all right? And then we had another large spike, so this is B right here. The question is, will we get another spike? Because usually what tends to happen after a coin gets to the third spike, which is the C spike, it no longer pushes up. But that doesn't mean you're still not able to get multiples, because if you were to actually have played this dip, you would have got a nice multiple right here. If you never played this dip, you would have got a nice multiple here. Now, this particular coin, I believe still will perform well, but I don't expect this to break all-time high anytime soon. So this is not a coin that I would want to invest in right now, as it would take me a little bit too long to get my investment. There's another coin called Popcat, which is doing fairly well. Now the question is, will it cross this part right here? And already we're seeing a downturn, so this is a coin we're going to skip. And the last coin we have is Michi. Now Michi is actually doing pretty well. And the great thing about this one right here is that you'll notice that the transition that it has is that this one's doing really, really solid. We had a nice little dip here, got another solid downturn. Now we have another downturn here. But what I'm going to do with this coin, which I feel like it's going to perform well, and it's going to get up here once again, is I'm going to wait for this to dip to right here. So I'm going to wait for the dip right here. I'm going to buy in right here. And then I'm going to wait for me to get this. Because even though if I go to the price chart here and we check the price, even though that doesn't look like a lot, right? It doesn't look like it's going to gain a little bit. If I get to buy right here and I get up here, it's still going to be a 26% increment. So if I put a couple SOLs in here, or I put 1 SOL in here, that's still going to give me a very net profit. It's not going to give me a huge profit, but if I were to get involved in this one, I were to get involved in Mini, I were to get involved in Mankey, and of course, I am already involved in this one right here, which is already 10%, just like I predicted, then I will already be netting a very good profit, because on this one, I would be up 20%, which is what I predict that's going to happen, because it's going to get up here. So I expect this to hit this peak again. So we bought right here. And if we check right here, this is going to be a very nice little spike right here. So we go to the price chart, you're going to notice that if I bought right here and I go a little bit high up, there's going to be at least a really good, like, like a 25 to 35 increment that I'm going to be getting depending on when I exit from just that single investment. And this is a very safe coin due to the fact that it's already been running, unlike the other ones that I've been showing you. But as you guys see right here, even though it's at a 1 million market cap, I'm already up 12%. Now, theoretically, I could pull up my initials right here and be like, okay, you know what? I'm happy with the 10%. If I put a 1 SOL in, that's going to give me a nice little boost here. But you could put a little bit more on these safer ones due to the fact that you are not going to get rugged. Now, the one thing I do want you guys to keep in mind, you are going to see a lot of downward, spiking, a lot of downward going up. And if we were to change this over there from the 5-minute chart to put it to the 1-minute chart, we would be able to see a little bit better. And the great thing about seeing this in the 1-minute mark is the fact that this is getting a nice little handlebar. So what this little handlebar does, as opposed to this spike up, as you see right here, if I zoom in here, you're going to notice that this spike up right here, let me get the drawing here. You're going to notice that there's a difference between this one and this one. So this is just a nice initial boost. It goes completely up. This one has a little like U looking thing. So what this means is that this is going to do the little U. It's going to get a nice little dip and it's going to do another little U. That is what we were expecting with this one. So right now I'm sitting at a nice 10%. I'm going to expect a little bit of sells to go through. And then I'm going to expect another little push, which should put me like at 15%, 20%. And at that time, I can decide, okay, well, am I going to take my initials? Do I want to take away all my 100% of the coin? Or do I want to leave a little bit in there because I think it's going to reach this top right here? This one in particular, I think it's going to reach this top. So what I'm going to do is once we get to the 15% or 20%, I'm going to take away 25% out of my profit from here and then leave the coin ride until it gets to the point where I think it's going to eventually end up at. All right, so as you guys see here, it's exactly doing what I predicted that I was going to do, okay? So you guys are watching this in real time, and you're going to notice that we bought here. I told you it was going to do a little curl. I told you it was going to do a little dip, and then I told you we were going to get another curl. So we are doing very nicely. We're back at the 8% mark. This is going to keep going higher. We're going to get another little spike down like this one right here. And then that's going to do a little spike, and then we're going to get a little further curl. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be looking that this hits at least 15 to 20%. Once we have that 15, 20%, I could either take all of my profit, and we're going to be up here, or I could take 25%. Now I think it's going to reach up here. Definitely it's going to reach up here. It has a potential of reaching all the way up here. I would just have to leave my investment a little bit longer to get this reach. But I know this reach is coming in just a little bit. So we're going to come back and check on this real quick. I'm going to go over the settings for you guys so you guys know exactly what we're doing. And we're already hitting the 11%. I'm looking for that 15%, which is what I want to get. But there's two ways to access the settings. Number one is, okay, so we're there. Hold on. Before we leave. So we hit this 15%, 12%. It's going to keep going down. We're looking to hit this target right here, which should be here. I usually like to run this one right here. This is my favorite one that I put. Because that gives me a perfect line of where I want to reach. I know where I want to get. So we're going to bring this down right here because that's where I want to get to and where I think it's going to get. So let me go over the settings real quick for you guys. In the meantime, we get to that part. So you can access the settings two ways. You could actually go through this side. You could go through the cell here. I usually like to go to the settings tab. So I'll go here, settings. We're going to come here. And you see how confident I am about how high that's going to get, that I'm showing you the settings without taking a look at the coin. So one cool thing about Photon 2 is like on the top, you're going to be able to see it just by viewing the tab if it's going up or it's going down. So quick buys. I like to have my slippage at 1.5. I like to get in these coins really fast. It's usually what happens with these type of coins. The volume is really high. So you want to get in there quick. Your priority fee, I have it set to 0.1. That's a couple change. Now remember, you're going to be paying a little bit of premium to use Photon. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can go ahead and get my referral link. It does help me out a little bit. So if you guys want to share some love, go ahead and do so. But you're going to be wasting a little bit of money, but you're going to getting in these buys and sells really fast. As far as the quick sell, I'm going to set it to 0.1. Usually, theoretically, I like to set my sell higher than my buy. So sometimes I would set this to 1.5, 1.2. So for this one in particular, we're going to set it to match the same thing, depending on which coin I'm getting involved in. Priority fee, I leave it the same. No MEVBot enabled or nothing like that. We're going to hit save. we're going to go back to the coin here, and we should be up pretty good here. So we're back down to 52%. So right now, as you guys see, this is literally doing what I needed to do. So we're getting the upward turn. We got a downward turn right here where this is at. I expect it to spike up, go back up, and hit this high right here, which is what I marked. Now, theoretically, I could leave this video running for us here to see exactly where it goes, but I don't want to extend this video too long. So what I'll do is I will post a picture on the community, show you guys exactly where this ended up with, so you guys can get an idea of how things are running. Now, that is how you're going to trade a little bit safer. I wanted to make this video because I know a lot of you guys do like to get into pump fund, but I do want to let you guys know, as long as you guys are building up your capital, you could invest in safer coins that you could actually leave the coin there for a little bit longer, or you could leave your Solana there just for a little bit longer, hold a little bit longer in case you got to go do dinner, you got to go, on a date or anything like that. You can leave the coin there with the fear of having a major dump, as opposed to the pump funds where you got to kind of be paying close attention to every time. Now, of course, the more money you have, the more coins you're able to invest in, allowing you to make that large amount. So you want to diversify your projects. So you just don't want to dump you don't want to, like if you have 5 SOL, right? This is just an example. You theoretically don't want to dump all your 5 SOL into this project. You want to dump 1 SOL here. And we talked about Mankey. You want to drop another SOL here. You want to drop another SOL here. You drop another SOL here. And you keep track on it through Photon, because it will show all your holdings right here with the percentiles. And that way you know when to exit. And if you do this pattern, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to earn those 5 SOLs really fast, because you're investing in 5 different projects at the same time. The great thing about this is that these projects are safer, not 100%, not financial advice, but they're less likely to get rugged, which makes your investment just a little bit more safer. Now, I hope this video was helpful, informative. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer that. I want to make crypto easy for you guys. And I want to know, do you guys want to see daily coins that I feel that are going to perform well, or coins where you guys could dump a little bit of money in, let it ride, and see how well it does as we get closer and closer to when altcoins are going to be doing huge amount of numbers? Let me know all that information in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. And as you guys see right here, we're getting a nice little dip. And I do expect this dip to go down a little bit and then get a nice little boost. So if you guys are watching this video, by the time this video is done, you guys know it was at this time that we invested. We're going to get the dip. We're going to get the curl. And you're going to see that we're going to hit this nice little all-time high here in just a little bit, so you guys can know that we got some investment. I would definitely love to keep the video running, but I don't want to extend this video too long. So I do hope you guys enjoyed our content. If you are, do the huge favor, guys, drop a comment, drop a like, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications, and I will catch you guys on the next video.